Next is Bill O'Sullivan.
Bill O'Sullivan of Woodlands, Texas, a Texas Patriots PAC. Many of you know that I'm a Marine. Marine Corps values are honor, courage, and commitment. The first of these is honor. We constructed an understanding that we could support and work for a bond with certain components. We received a non-binding commitment to that bond. We now have to make our own commitment to support this bond and try to get it passed with as much effort as we tried to defeat it in May. I make that commitment here. That I am doing out of honor. That's what I said I would do. Since this came out in the paper, we have been attacked from all sides. That was expected when we chose to do this. We had to make a leap of faith. We knew this was the only chance for a November bond. We made that leap. This all started with a phone call on August 12th from a representative of Commissioner Riley, Mark Davenport. After a long discussion about what would encourage us to support this bond, they decided this was a real attempt to get a bond done based on the framework that we and others had been talking about in this court for months. I arranged a meeting with Mark and Julie Turner, John Bauman, and myself. That meeting took place on Saturday the 15th. We were all pledged to strict confidentiality. At the meeting, we came up with a basic framework, and John, an attorney, committed it to paper as a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU. On Monday, we sent it to Charlie's representative. One of our requirements was to recruit other opponents with our best efforts. They received the MOU when I received the return pledge of strict confidentiality. We then arranged a meeting with Charlie and Craig. It was a prolonged meeting. After changes, we agreed and arranged for a signing the next morning at 9 a.m. We had already received written support in various forms from prior bond opponents. The next morning, we were greeted with additional requests. 4 hours later, after changes, it was signed. All of this back and forth is why we are meeting so late in the day. That's the story. If this bond is approved, I will do my best to get it passed. I believe that doing this now makes it impossible for the Woodlands Parkway extension to be built with taxpayer money. If the developers want to spend their own money to build it themselves and the taxpayers are not involved, that's their business, not mine. At some point, I expect it may be built. Despite all the negative feedback we have received for attempting this, let me conclude with a paraphrased passage of The Man in the Arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never know victory or defeat. Gentlemen, there is your challenge. Put this bond on the November ballot. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie Turner.
Good afternoon. My name is Julie Turner, President of the Texas Patriots PAC, and Mr. Riley is my commissioner. I'm here today on behalf of the Texas Patriots PAC to encourage you to approve the order calling the bond election and also to approve the resolutions governing future road maintenance, funding, and future bond projects. I urge your support for two reasons. First, the resolutions channel more money into the fund used to maintain roads, and it does that without unduly tying commissioners' hands. Second, this bond with these resolutions is extremely likely to pass. This last Friday, something exceptional happened. An agreement was reached to support a road bond between representatives of the PAC and two members of this court. It did not dictate what Commissioners Court must do. That's what you're here to do today. And it did not dictate projects. That's your choice. That conversation was groundbreaking, extremely constructive, and most welcome. The top three funding priorities of our Commissioners Court are the roads, the jail, and the courts. It doesn't make a lot of sense to voters to say that there isn't enough money for the road and bridge fund if our taxes are going to fund lower priorities. In the resolution under discussion here, the road and bridge fund will grow as the county grows at the higher level of priority that the county gave it in the budget this year. I'd like to thank Mr. Riley for offering the language that made that substantially better in the agreement. As you know, the Texas Patriots PAC opposed the last bond, In fact, we walked over 10,000 flyers to homes of people that we thought would be interested in that election. And the flyers said, "Demand a better bond." We are prepared to support a better bond, and that is what you're about to vote on. If you vote to approve this bond and these resolutions, we are prepared to work as hard to pass this one as we did to oppose the last one. The most important part of this agreement is that it places Montgomery County on a glide path to pay for maintenance of our roads without relying on bonds. I heartily congratulate Judge Doyle and Commissioner Riley and the concerned citizens who constructively worked together to find a path to address our major mobility needs right now. And now it's up to you all. Should you vote to call the bond election and approve the resolutions, we stand prepared to work with this court to pass the bond in November. Thank you.
Thank you.